going on, guys? In today's video, I wanted to talk about the two main methods for farming MFP in WWE 2K25's Myfaction mode. I just really wanted to make this video because I wanted to have a conversation about these two methods. I've been seeing people kind of like having different thoughts, and I wanted to just give my thoughts on each method. This has been like what I feel is like my most consistent with. It's basically the same team that we've been seeing online without having to interrupt. You keep the Gunther submission. So you bring in Roman to get that Superman punch. You lay him out. You hit the taunt. You go right into the Sig, and then you go back to Roman to bring in Gunther. You hit that payback and you go right into the finisher. And then I just switch right to AJ and I let him taunt. Because it doesn't matter who it is. It seems like they always miss. I haven't had, ever since I've tried this one with Roman doing the signature instead of Booker T, it seems like they never get to him in time. And I'm starting to wonder if the consistency of the super finisher with Gunther is the way to go. Sometimes you have to move AJ up because he'll and there it is. Sometimes you have to move AJ up because he's so close to the ropes, but it still gives you the opportunity. This is going to be actually longer than 22 seconds, but I'm not too upset about it. Again, it's consistent. It doesn't have like the mistakes that the other MFP grind has with Roman doing the corners finisher and then Jey Uso having to run between them to go do the blocks. So 24 seconds, but 578 guaranteed every time. Like, the only times that sometimes it drops below, it'll go like 563, is if you somehow don't get that second taunt with AJ on the ropes. And this bad boy going right into the Roman tag, into a Superman punch. You always hate when he gets a little bit too close to the ropes, but that's okay. You can just get to, you know, just push right through him. Bring Gunther in. And the only thing I like worry people, or I tell people to watch, is just watching for missing the super finisher. But other than that, it's like guaranteed every time. I don't know, man. When I'm getting 578, it feels a lot more consistent. And then we can go into what the current method that everyone seems to be latching onto. And I saw it from Myfaction reaction. I think he has a great point about what makes it so good. And obviously it's a huge chunk of MFP. I just, for myself personally, have felt a lot of inconsistencies with it. So going into our like second wave, obviously about half a minute for over 600 sounds really good. I just, again, like I said, I think consistency is also a very important factor when it comes to MFP grinding. So I just wanted to make this video to have more conversations about like what people are finding that's more consistent or more, you know, rewarding. So all right, going into the second way to farm MFP, you tag in Roman, you hit that Superman punch. As always, you hit the Sig with AJ Styles. Then you want to do a running attack to hit the six-pack. You bring in Jey Uso, you bring him through the center, and then you want to hit all three of these guys. And then some things like that happen all the time, getting caught up on the rope. So when this happens, I normally go for the finisher just to add the 15 extra. This one's gonna get me about 614 if I'm not mistaken. I think it will guarantee me 614. I can get to 630, 629. But you can see right there, that was actually a good example of things that can almost consistently happen when I'm doing this. I find myself in predicaments where either Jay's getting caught up on the rope. Sometimes he'll like climb on the corner, the buckle. And then you also have 3 different amethyst wrestlers that are able to counter an attack that's coming from Jay as he's running. You know what I mean? So hit the Superman punch, go into the Sig, back up for the running attack, get that six-pack activated, get him into the corner to set up for the finisher, run Jay over, hit the attacks. And then here is when you want to go into a double taunt with Jay. And that's going to get you about 654. Now, like I said, as you can see, that's 26 seconds, probably the best you've ever seen me do it. 652. So again, we're getting to a point to where it's almost 100 more, adding on 4 to 6 seconds. However, in my experience, I find myself either being countered, fumbled, or something getting like caught up, like Jay getting caught up in the ropes, him not doing the attack properly for like the sprint attack into the ropes, you know, even just counters happening when he's in the corner. You got to bring him, you know, a little bit over. I don't know if that running attack works. I guess we'll see. Bring him into the corner. For this, I run Jay over to the right because obviously if I just try to bring him in, he's going to mess up Roman's finisher. But there you go. And then you also have to worry about Roman sometimes just not wanting to pin. Boom. There you go. So that's about, we'll do one more time, just like really hammer it down and see if anything happens. But that was a 30-second run. You could see Roman got up for some reason. Instead of pinning with the spear, he got up, stood there, looked at him, and then pinned him. Fighting against AI like that, as opposed to like locking Gunther into the super finisher, and he just, all he's doing is trying to win. There's nothing for him to like want to get up. He just wants to win that finisher, and it seems like impossible for them to break up the super finisher again, is something that really brings me to wondering if the consistency for this one just isn't worth it. So I'm not making this video as any other way than to try and just get some communication with people that farm MFP and feel, look at that. That's a catch up right there. So thankfully, we're in a situation where he was close enough to me to focus more on Jay than trying to break up the pin. But it's still that conversation, right? Is inconsistencies like that too much while adding 4, 6, 10, 12 seconds to, you know, to that variable, rather than almost always getting 20 to 22 seconds on the Gunther super finisher? Does that make up for the MFP? I just don't have assurances within myself, and I feel like it's more of a good discussion to have. I mean, it's even a deeper discussion to like, you know, really wish that some of the changes that were made to old MFP grinds weren't changed, but you know, this is the nature of the game. For me personally, I just wish that like Faction Wars, it being such a cool mode, had a little bit more of a reward system to it and not a lock up. Hey, look, there goes Roman. I'm so glad I did this one more time. There's literally no reason for him to be doing another finisher. He just decided, hey, it's time, and then solo counters. Those are the things I talk about with this method. They're rare. They are rare, but there's more of them to happen at a time. Roman being a rogue, going rogue, the people on the ropes actually being able to counter you and messing up you knocking them off. Jay just getting caught up on the rope. Like, it feels like there's so many of those situations that can happen in the second method than the first method, even with the significant increase of MFP that you're getting from the grind. The time difference with the multiple opportunities for being able to complete the match. I'm trying to weigh it, and I feel like I'm going to try and do more testing myself, but I figured I'd get the video out showing the two methods that I genuinely think are the best currently, and which one, in my opinion, seems to weigh a little bit more. I do think that the Gunther one weighs a little bit more, even though it is quite a bit less MFP. But I also do want to know what other people think. Maybe I'm just doing something wrong on the second method. Or maybe there's just another method out there that I genuinely don't even know, that I haven't seen yet. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. And I'll see you on the next one.